In these problems, we're solving quadratics using something called the square root rule. And you know, when you've got an x squared as your highest term, you've got a quadratic. So this is a quadratic. And quadratics equations are usually going to have two solutions. In this case, to solve for x, all we have to do is take the square root of both sides. Over here, we'll get x. Over here, remember, when we take the square root, we get a positive and a negative value. And the square root of 100 is just 10. Remember that negative value comes because negative 10 times negative 10 also equals 100, as well as positive 10 times positive 10. So there are our answers for that one. Let's try another one. Here it's slightly more complicated. We've got a 3 multiplied by our x squared, so I'm just going to divide by 3 first. And then we've got x squared equals 16 over 3. At this point I'm going to take the square root because I've got my x squared alone. And let's see, that's going to be a positive or negative, and this, I'm going to do the square root of the top and the square root of the bottom. The square root of the top, square root of 16 is just 4. Square root of 3, put that down here. Now we need to rationalize the denominator here because we don't like these radical signs in the denominator. So I'm going to multiply this by the square root of 3 over the square root of 3. On the bottom I get 3, and on the top I get 4 times the square root of 3. And this was, remember, plus or minus. And those are our two solutions. Let's try one more, even more complicated. So here I'm going to start by, let's add 216 to both sides. We get 4 times x minus 2 squared equals 216. And then we will divide by 4, so we get x minus 2 quantity squared equals, and I think that's 54. And at this point we've got it down to the quantity squared, so this is where we take the square root of both sides. So the square root of x minus 2 squared is just going to be x minus 2. And over here, let's see, we have the square root of 54. I think 54 is 2 times 27, which is 3 times 9. So we could pull out that 9 and we would get 3 times the square root of 6. But remember, this is going to be plus or minus because we just took the square root there. So this is plus or minus 3 times the square root of 6. And we're almost done here. We've got this 2 to get rid of, so I'm going to add 2 to both sides. Now, when you come to this step and you've already got a plus or minus over here, it makes sense to put the 2 in front of that. So I would get x equals 2 plus or minus 3 times the square root of 6. You could put it afterwards, but I think this is less confusing. And we can stop there. That's our answer. My name is Larry. I'm a teacher at EdVisions off campus. It's an online project-based school in Minnesota. If you're interested, you can check us out on the web at lovethischool.org. Thanks.